I've always said that a girl needs a sanctuary, a place where the rules of normal life simply don't apply. For me and my circle of friends, that sanctuary was our annual girls' trip. Every year, the four of us, me, my sister-in-law Maya, and my two best friends from college, would jet off to an ultra-exclusive resort in Cabo San Lucas for a week of margaritas, sun, and complete radio silence from our husbands. My husband, Julian, was an aerospace engineer who spent his life analyzing telemetry data for satellite launches. He was predictable, quiet, and incredibly trusting. When I packed my bags, he simply kissed my forehead, handed me a sleek, new designer smart suitcase he'd bought me for our anniversary, and told me to have a restful week. "You work so hard, Vanessa," he said, helping me load the heavy bag into the Uber. "Just turn your phone off. Disconnect. I'll handle the house." I felt a slight prick of guilt, but the moment the plane wheels left the tarmac, it vanished. There was no girls' trip. Well, not exactly. Maya and the girls were there, but they were my alibi. The real reason I couldn't wait to get to Mexico was Christian, a wealthy, smooth-talking luxury yacht broker I had met at a boat show 6 months prior. Christian had rented a private villa overlooking the ocean, complete with the infinity pool and a private chef. The plan was flawless. Maya and the girls would stay at the main resort, taking photos, tagging me in old group pictures and posting vague updates to make it look like I was right there with them. Meanwhile, I would be 3 miles down the coast, living a completely different life in Christian's villa. My friends were my fortress. We had a pact. What happens in Cabo stays in Cabo. For 5 days, the system worked beautifully. I kept my phone on airplane mode, only turning it on for 3 minutes a day to send Julian a scripted, "Good night, honey, love you" text. I was completely insulated. I was certain that as long as my friends kept the secret, Julian would remain blissfully oblivious in his world of satellite data. The illusion shattered on our final night. Christian had thrown a massive beachside party at the villa to celebrate a multi-million-dollar yacht sale. The music was loud, the champagne was flowing, and I was wearing a stunning backless emerald dress. I was standing on the terrace laughing with Christian when my phone suddenly buzzed in my clutch. It wasn't a text message. It was an automated email notification from the luxury smart suitcase Julian had bought me. The notification read, "Critical device. Unlink, cargo item 01 removed from main chassis, attempting to re-establish telemetry." I frowned, looking down at the screen. I had left the suitcase locked in the master suite of Christian's villa. I excused myself and hurried upstairs to the bedroom. When I opened the heavy wooden doors, my heart stopped. My suitcase wasn't locked in the closet. It was sitting on the center of the bed, completely open. But it hadn't been broken into. Standing over the suitcase, wearing a linen shirt and holding a small screwdriver, was Maya, my sister-in-law, my husband's sister. "Maya?" I gasped, closing the door behind me. "What are you doing? Why are you in my room?" Maya turned around. Her face was completely pale and her eyes were red from crying. She didn't look angry. She looked terrified. In her hand, she was holding a tiny metallic cylinder, no larger than a coin, that she had just unscrewed from the inner lining of the suitcase's telescopic handle. "He knows, Vanessa," Maya whispered, her voice trembling violently. "What are you talking about? Who knows?" "Julian," Maya choked out, holding up her own phone. "He called me 10 minutes ago. He didn't call to ask how the trip was. He called to read me a map." My blood ran cold. "A map?" "The suitcase he bought you," Maya said, dropping the screwdriver onto the bed. "It's a prototype from his aerospace firm's new commercial tracking division. It doesn't use standard GPS or cell towers, Vanessa. It uses low-orbit commercial satellite telemetry. It updates its location every 30 seconds, even if it's inside a concrete building. And it logs the ambient temperature, the humidity, and the barometric pressure." I stared at the tiny cylinder in her hand. He tracked the bag." "He didn't just track the bag," Maya sobbed. "He tracked us. He told me exactly what time your bag left our resort on Tuesday. He told me the exact coordinates of this villa. And then he told me that if I didn't walk over here right now, find the tracking module, and bring you to the main resort lobby within 30 minutes, he was going to leak the entire data log, along with the resort's exterior security footage he legally subpoenaed through his firm's corporate legal team, to my husband. He knows my friends and I covered for you. The room began to spin. Julian hadn't just caught me. He had completely dismantled my alibi network by turning my own sister-in-law against me. He had used Maya's fear of ruining her own marriage to force her to act as his recovery agent. "We have to go, right now," Maya said, grabbing my arm. "He's waiting." "Waiting? Where? He's in Chicago." "No, Vanessa, he's downstairs." I stumbled down the grand staircase of the villa, leaving Christian and the party behind. Maya practically dragged me into a taxi, and we rode in a suffocating, terrified silence back to the main resort. When the taxi pulled up to the open-air lobby of our resort, the headlights illuminated 3 matching sets of luggage sitting neatly on the curb. It was the bags belonging to Maya and my 2 college friends. Standing next to the luggage, holding a stack of printed documents, was Julian. He looked exactly the same as the day I left, calm, collected, and completely unbothered by the tropical heat. My 2 college friends were sitting on a nearby bench, clutching their phones, staring at the floor in absolute shame. They wouldn't even look at me. "Julian," I stammered, stepping out of the cab, my voice echoing in the quiet lobby. "Julian, I can explain. It was just a party." "Don't waste the breath, Vanessa," Julian said smoothly. He didn't raise his voice. He handed the stack of documents to Maya. "Thank you for retrieving the module, Maya. Your husband's flight logs have been wiped from my server. Your secret is safe with me." Maya took the papers, grabbed her suitcase, and walked toward the resort elevators without looking back. My friend silently followed her, leaving me completely alone on the curb with my husband. Julian looked at me then, his eyes reflecting the ambient lights of the resort pool. He held up his tablet, showing a beautifully rendered 3D heat map of Cabo San Lucas. A bright red line traced my exact movements from the moment I landed to the exact bedroom grid of Christian's villa. "You told me to look at the stars, Vanessa," Julian said quietly. "You always said my job was boring because I only looked at data points in the sky. But you forgot that satellites don't just look up. They look down." He dropped a single piece of paper onto the hood of the taxi. It was a 1-page divorce petition already signed by him. "The flight back to Chicago leaves in 2 hours," Julian said, stepping into a waiting town car that had been idling nearby. "I took the liberty of switching your first-class ticket to middle seat coach. Your clothes are already at your mother's house. Enjoy the rest of your girls' trip." The town car pulled away, leaving me standing on the curb in my expensive emerald dress, surrounded by my own luggage, realizing that in a world governed by global telemetry, there is no such thing as a sanctuary. I had spent years trying to escape his data, only to realize that the sky had been watching me the entire time.